Hi everybody, it's Amy. Tonight I wanted to share something a little bit different with everybody. I'm really excited because growing up as a teenager, I loved Rick Springfield. And that was 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. And I was scrapbooking before scrapbooking was cool. I think that could be a song, huh? But anyway, scrapping before scrapbooking was before I even knew what scrapbooking was. This book here is probably about 28 years old. I started this when I was a teenager. A young teen, of course. So I just wanted to share it with everybody. And as you can see, it's very, very old. But this was my scrapbook that I made as a teenager about Rick Springfield. And I thought I would share this in light of I just purchased tickets to go see Rick Springfield in Ohio on August 13th, and I am so excited. I can't tell you, I feel like a little teenager all over again. But so now I'm just trying to see if I can get backstage tickets somehow, some way. But even if I don't, we're still lucky. We got we're 6 rows back from the stage, so we're pretty excited about that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this book so I can share it with everybody. And you could see the binding it's so old that the binding actually kind of fell apart. But this was my first page. And it's just so cute because all of like the teen magazines is where I cut everything out of. But here, and then you can see I just obsessed about his name and wrote his name the whole way down. Look at my printing. And then here's this, and then I have all the dates when I purchased his albums. Tape, that's how I stuck things down back then. And then on June 2nd, 1983, I got my Rick Springfield concert ticket. And on June 30th, 1983, he came to Pittsburgh. And August 23rd is his birth date. So here was my first page. I'll try to get it to where it's not a glare. It's so cute. Beautiful body. And then here's this page. And my cousin and I, and that's who I'm going to see with, we used to stay up, and I'm not kidding you, all night long and talk about Rick Springfield. I don't know what we had to talk about all night long, but we did. And in those little magazines, I would cut apart the tiniest little pictures with big scissors. We didn't have fancy scissors back then. Or if they did have them, I didn't have access to them. So everything's starting to turn yellow. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so old. I love gorgeous Rick. And there's my concert ticket. It'll be fun because I think what I'm going to do, well, I don't think, I know I'm going to make another album after I'm done with this concert. So I'll have this one and then my one from, 30 years later. But this was his dog Ron back in the day. And I love Rick. He's always been a dog lover. Look at these tiny little pictures. I can zoom in on them. That was from his fan club. But look at these tiny little pictures. I'm zooming in on them. Some of them are so little, I don't know how I seen them. Of course, I probably cut the girl out of that picture. That was one of my favorite pictures. This was a picture I took at the concert. You're not going to be able to see it from here, but we didn't have good zoom features back then. It was 27 years ago. I still can't believe that. So, gosh. I'm so glad looking back now. And like all of you young people that are out there scrapping, I'm going to tell you, it is so nice to look back on your work that you have scrapped. Because you just don't realize. I guess I did have somewhat fancy scissors. That must have been my mother's sewing scissors. I must have found those. But anyway, as I was saying, you young girls out there that start scrapping now, When you get to be my age, it's going to be amazing looking back at this. But look at all of these tiny little pictures. And then here was the TV guide. I don't know if anybody remembers, any ladies out there in your 40s, you remember when the TV guide came out? And actually, I don't even know if they still sell this, but it was 50 cents back then. And the date on this was July 17th, 1982. But I cut out everything. It was so fun putting together. I guess I was just destined to be a scrapbooker. Rick's lips, isn't that cute? We just go through magazines and cut everything up. If it looked like Rick, it got cut up. And this is a bumper sticker when he had his movie. And then that's it. And then this was just a magazine I got from the fan club that I belong to. And then here's the last page. Anyway, ladies, it was just a quick video to commemorate 27 years since I've seen Rick Springfield. I am now going to see him again. And I really don't go to a lot of concerts, so I'm pretty excited about this. But thank you, ladies, for stopping by to take time to watch. And any Rick Springfield fans out there, let me hear from you. Have a good night. Thanks. Bye.